Alright, I want to thank you, Evan, for keeping me up all night. It's close to midnight now, thinking about your post about when Maddie was born and how you just felt that pure spirit inside of her. And I think that most of us who are parents, and some of us who aren't parents but who have witnessed this miracle of birth, have felt that pure light in the room when that child is born, and it truly, truly is amazing. There's nothing like it. And I've been thinking about that and wondering, how do we go from having this pure soul to having this dim light at age 30 or at age 40 or sometimes as early as a young teenager? How do we lose that innocence? How do we lose that purity that really made us shine as an infant and as a young child? And we've often heard of it referred to as innocence, but is it spirit? Is innocence the same as that light, as that spirit? Does innocence make us luminous by default? I don't know. I don't know that for sure, but I can reach back a little bit to my Montessori training. I was trained in infant and child development, and we learned a lot about how a newborn baby's brain works and how they form themselves as they get older. Excuse me. And I draw a lot of my knowledge as a parent from that, and I know that we try to keep a newborn baby safe and warm, and we try to protect them for as long as we can, but it's only natural that a baby is going to start to learn fear and pain, and they're going to start to learn trust and mistrust, and those are what I would like to call ego filters to that purity of light. And when I say ego, I don't mean egotistical or self-centered. What I mean is the ego as separate from the spirit. And it's that realm of emotions or traits that interfere with our inner peace. They really do. And it's inevitable that a baby is going to feel pain at some point. When they get their first shot, or they have their first diaper rash, they're going to feel pain. And it's how we as parents or the society around them reacts to that, that really keeps their spirit safe. But still, it's still a smudge on that spirit. So, I don't know. My question to you is, how do we, as adults now, regain some of that light that we ourselves had when we were born? And how do we keep our children from losing their light in this society where it's so easy to fall prey to those ego traits? I don't know the answers, but I would love to hear more discussion about it. Now, I did promise you some talk about judgment, and I'm going to relate something that I wrote in a post, and that is, have you ever had a conversation with somebody who is constantly talking down about other people? So-and-so is, such a dork, or so-and-so did this and how awful. And it's that kind of gossip, that some people really thrive on, or some people really thrive on putting other people down. If you've ever had a conversation with one of those people, do you come away from the conversation feeling differently about the people that they talked about? Or do you come away from the conversation feeling like the person who was doing the naysaying, was really difficult to be around? And I guess that's a question you pose to yourself when you think about the quote that I posted about, you know, judging others really defines you, not the people that you're judging. So, I challenge you to look at people in a different light and try not to use their past history to judge them, or the way they appear to judge them, or their political affiliation to judge them. And I've had some great conversations with people who are of a different political party than I associate with, and we've had some really great open and honest conversations, and it's been amazing. It's been wonderful. So I challenge you to try hard not to judge people. And when you're having a conversation with someone that may differ from you in their political views, and they say something that maybe you don't agree with, I challenge you to say, that is really interesting. Tell me more about that. Or to say, I'm going to research that a little bit more and see if you end up arguing. You probably won't. You might even learn something. So that's my challenge to you about judgment. Go forth and do that in your lives at least one time this week, and see if it makes a difference in your state of being. So that's my few words about judgment. And it is midnight, so I apologize if it's a little discombobulated. And again, I thank Evan for starting this discussion about the purity of spirit in a newborn baby. And I really want to continue with that. And maybe I'll post that on the discussion group for further thought. And please contribute to my question about judgment. And I will relate to you a couple of more stories about how not judging people really changed my perspective and has helped a lot in my relationships in my life. So until our next cup of tea, good night.